In only a few days before Christmas, the dazzling 12-foot pine tree adorned with Swarovski ornaments in my parents' mansion cast a lovely glow on the snowy scenery of Maple Avenue. The dining table, already set with Wedgewood China, displayed the Christmas dinner itinerary. I'm Jennifer Miller, residing in a new residential area approximately 15 minutes away from this upscale neighborhood, with my husband Michael and our 6-year-old son Tommy. Michael, as a middle manager at an IT company, earns approximately $70,000. While we aren't wealthy, we've established a joyful home. Tommy, who is popular and an honest child, attends North Street School, our local public elementary. My passion for education, influenced by my mother, a retired high school teacher, has made assisting Tommy with his homework and reading together our treasured daily habit. Every Sunday, our family dines at my parents' home, Robert and Margaret's. My sister Elizabeth is connected through marriage to a heart surgeon, Catherine practices law, and my youngest sibling, William, is a university professor. All marriages my parents take pride in. My parents' white Victorian mansion, built in the 1920s, stands proudly as a testament to Greenwich's history and tradition. My father, a retired investment banker, and my mother, a prominent figure in Greenwich's social circles, uphold the appearance of charity work and are staunch members of the First Presbyterian Church. As siblings, we collectively bear the responsibility of caring for our elderly parents. Elizabeth handles priority schedules at the Greenwich Hospital. I manage contracts and upkeep via Heritage Home Maintenance. Catherine provides legal advice regarding wills and inheritances, while William oversees the investment portfolio. Yet recently, Tommy has become hesitant to visit his grandparents. "Mom, do I have to go to Grandma's house?" Tommy's query tugged at my emotions. Despite eagerly arranging costly lessons and gifting lavish presents to their other grandchildren, my parents maintain a reserved demeanor towards Tommy. At the Greenwich Women's Club luncheons, my mother endlessly talks about her other grandchildren, seldom mentioning Tommy. Though modest compared to my parents' grand mansion, our modern colonial home that Michael and I picked together radiates family warmth. Weekends filled with playing catch with Tommy at the park nearby or having BBQs in our backyard can't my parents understand the happiness found in these simple joys. "It's all right, Tommy. Mom and Dad are here for you," I comforted him, bolstering my determination that this Christmas I would shield him regardless. As I stood on our balcony, viewing the horse-chestnut trees and rose garden, I sighed heavily, feeling an unease about the family gathering planned for Christmas afternoon. Upon arriving at my parents' residence, Elizabeth's high-end SUV was already stationed in the driveway. Tommy, stepping out of our car and nervously adjusting the collar of his new red sweater, held my hand tightly. "I don't want to go." "It's fine, Tommy. I'm sure Santa has something great for you." Michael encouraged our son gently, even as I sensed the tension in his voice. Opening the heavy main door, we were surrounded by warm air filled with the aromas of roast turkey, cinnamon, and pumpkin pie. The 24-pound butterball turkey was browning perfectly in the oven. "Jenny, you finally arrived." My mother surfaced in the foyer, dressed in a white cashmere sweater and a sparkling pearl necklace, barely giving Tommy a second glance as she kissed only my cheek lightly. "You're late. Elizabeth's children are already here." The eager chatter of my nieces and nephews emerged from the living room. Underneath the massive 12-foot Christmas tree was a heap of gifts adorned with vibrant ribbons. Elizabeth's twins were engrossed with the latest gaming console as Catherine's daughter explored programming on her new tablet. Patricia's father, with a scotch in hand, called out, "Merry Christmas, Patricia." To him, I was always Patricia, steadfastly ignoring my married name, Miller. "Tommy, come here," Elizabeth motioned. My sister showed Tommy as much warmth as she did the other kids, but today her eyes held a trace of an apologetic shadow. "Did you buy that sweater at Target?" Mother asked, examining Tommy with a mocking tone. Indeed, it was a $25 sweater from Target, but Tommy had been so happy with the bright red sweater. As dinner approached, the house buzzed with activity. William engaged everyone in intellectual exchanges, befitting his role as a young professor. Catherine recounted fascinating tales from her law firm, while Elizabeth's husband outlined the latest innovations in medical technology. My parents listened with pleased expressions, though when Michael discussed his job, Father merely grunted and redirected the conversation. When Tommy attempted to share his school stories, Mother cut him off, saying, "Let's save the children's stories for later." The lavish dinner table was dominated by the roast turkey, surrounded by homemade cranberry sauce, green bean casserole, sweet potato casserole, and a special pumpkin pie from Whole Foods. Laid out on Wedgewood China, the dishes looked like a magazine spread. As Father initiated grace, everyone closed their eyes and clasped their hands. "Lord, we thank you for this bountiful meal, our successful children and our wonderful grandchildren," he prayed, with words tainted by hidden discrimination. Post-dinner, it was time to exchange gifts. Gathered around the fireplace, the family started with Elizabeth's children. Mother handed out large boxes containing the latest gaming consoles and designer clothes. Catherine's children received educational tablets, while William's child got premium sports equipment and a programming set. The children's excitement echoed in the room. Finally, it was Tommy's turn. Holding out a small box, Mother said, "Here, Tommy, your turn." Expectantly, Tommy unwrapped it. Inside, it was empty. "He doesn't need anything," Mother smiled malevolently, freezing the room's atmosphere. Tears welled up in Tommy's eyes. I shot a glare at Mother before silently consoling Tommy and leaving the room. Michael followed us without a word. A heavy silence fell as Elizabeth sighed softly. As we made our way out, I caught sight of the family photos lining the wall. They depicted a seemingly joyful family, which now felt like a facade. Outside, the snow fell quietly while the Christmas lights on houses twinkled emptily behind us. Watching from the rearview mirror, I saw my parents' mansion shrink as Tommy, from the back seat, wiped his tears with his new sweater sleeve. "Hey, Tommy," Michael said gently while driving. "Daddy and Mommy love you very much, no matter what Grandpa and Grandma think." The following morning, before dawn, my smartphone buzzed relentlessly. The family group chat was flooded with messages of anger and sadness. Elizabeth's words lit up the screen. "What happened last night is absolutely unacceptable. Our parents' actions are clear emotional abuse." Catherine chimed in with her professional view as a lawyer. "I would never treat even my students this way." Even William, usually calm, sent an unusually emotional message. Patricia stared at the computer screen while Tommy, exhausted, slept beside her after nights of restless dreams, seeking comfort in their bedroom. From the windows of Catherine's law office, the hazy outline of Greenwich could be seen in the Manhattan distance. Meanwhile, siblings were reuniting there. Catherine began the meeting with, "Let me first explain from a legal perspective," and opened her laptop. In some instances, discriminatory behavior by grandparents against grandchildren can be legally actionable, but that's our last resort. Elizabeth, with a calmness one would expect from a doctor, suggested, "What we need now is effective sanctions against our parents." William's attention focused on the whiteboard as he outlined how their current support maintained their parents' lifestyle. "I've calculated the impact if we cease all Sunday dinners, medical transport, and home maintenance support," he showed his spreadsheet. Elizabeth sighed. "I doubt they're aware we pay their country club dues and manage the church charity events too." Catherine added. That afternoon, they took decisive steps to put their plans into action. Elizabeth called their parents' physician. "We'll have to stop providing transportation support." Catherine contacted the home maintenance company. "We won't renew the standard maintenance arrangement." William instructed the investment advisor, "Remove my name from my parents' account oversight." The news spread quickly in the Greenwich Women's Club, with the Christmas party incident as the new gossip. Longtime friends began breaking ties with Mother, and the church community saw their parents quietly removed from charity work. In the mansion, noticeable changes followed. The roses remained neglected, leaks went unrepaired, and there were no service calls when heating failed. Surprisingly, tax duties were also falling behind. Had they really never noticed all these responsibilities fell on us? "How is Tommy doing?" Elizabeth asked with concern. "He's gradually recovering his spirit," I replied. Michael spends evenings practicing baseball with him. The love surrounding him is therapeutic. Catherine suggested, "My children wish to play with Tommy too. Let's have a hot chocolate gathering at my place this weekend." Away from the adult complications, Tommy bonded with his cousins, helping his emotional recovery in their warmth. On a snowy night, sitting by the window, I realized it had been days without a call from my parents. Doubts crossed my mind about our choice, but seeing Tommy's happiness reassured me we hadn't erred. Shortly after New Year, unexpected visitors arrived, and upon opening the door, there stood my parents. They appeared changed. Mother's once impeccable hair was now untidy, and father, instead of his premium attire, wore a worn sweater. Their appearance reflected rapid aging over 2 weeks. "Patricia, can you listen to us?" Mother's voice was devoid of its usual haughtiness. Inviting them into the living room, where Michael quietly served coffee, Tommy played upstairs, and the room carried traces of breakfast. Father began, admitting their struggles in managing. Their predicament was evident as their Greenwich hospital appointments were cancelled, leaving no avenue for father's regular checkups. The Heritage Home maintenance contract lapsed, resulting in unattended house issues. Tax preparations commenced with notices of late payments accumulating, even as Mother's pension arrived, tears interrupting my attempts to speak. "It's insufficient," she sobbed. "We've been living beyond our means, maintaining appearances." Father retrieved a bill from his wallet, an overdue notice from Greenwich Country Club. "Even our friends have abandoned us, and we've lost our standing at church," he lamented. Mother's makeup smudged, and quietly, Father queried, "Did you know we couldn't survive without your help?" "Yes, we did," I confirmed. "But why, Tommy?" Mother's demeanor shifted, reflecting pride intertwined with regret. "I must admit," she began, clutching a handkerchief with trembling hands, "I couldn't accept your marriage, a daughter of a notable Greenwich family, with just an IT manager. But Michael is a wonderful husband and father," I said, calmly but firmly. Mother continued, gazing out the window. "I had my pride, my societal status, my church reputation, and the constant gaze of my friends. So, Tommy, yes, he was the evidence of the union that defied our expectations. Every week at family dinners, seeing him." Father interjected, "No, Margaret, that's incorrect." Mother, taken aback by Father's sudden assertion, turned. "We erred. Our vanity and pride blinded us to the true essence of matters," Father's voice faltered. "The luxury lifestyle we retained was due to your support, repaying it with cruelty." Mother remained silent, her handkerchief held tightly. "We apologize." Father bowed his head deeply, addressing Tommy and our family. However, Mother's tone was somewhat unyielding, our social position. Just then, a small sound from upstairs. Tommy sat midway on the stairs. But how much had he overheard? "Grandma, why don't you like me?" Tommy's innocent inquiry chilled the room. Mother gazed at him, speechless, for the first time, genuine regret in her eyes. I don't deserve forgiveness," she admitted. The societal facade Mother wore for years seemed to dissolve. "Yet, if you'll permit," her voice wavered, "could we attempt to start anew as a real family?" I observed Tommy quietly. Should such a burden weigh on a 6-year-old's shoulders? Nonetheless, in my son's eyes, I discerned something adults missed. "Don't cry, Grandma." Tommy descended the stairs, approaching her. "I have a red sweater. I'll let you borrow it," he offered. Those sincere words shattered Mother's pride, as she sobbed openly, makeup forgotten. Father moved silently to the window, watching the New Year's snow fall gently. "Could you give us another chance?" His voice shook slightly. Michael, exchanging a glance with me, nodded subtly. "However, conditions apply." I addressed my parents. "You must genuinely accept Tommy and our lifestyle, not for appearances or social standing, but from your hearts." My parents nodded, understanding. While change wouldn't come overnight, a new chapter for our family began that day. 3 months later, the luxury of my parents' Maple Avenue home was gone. Their Greenwich Country Club membership expired, and Mother's cherished Wedgewood China went on sale. Weekly housekeeping was cancelled, and they now tended their rose garden personally. What is genuine happiness? Mother pondered aloud, pulling weeds with sturdy work gloves from the hardware store instead of her familiar leather ones. Father, once a proud retired investment banker, now finds peace by volunteering as a bookkeeper at the local senior center. Unpaid work never showed on his face this much tranquility. Money and status weren't everything, he softly mentioned while playing catch with Tommy on weekends. Those words resonated with regret and newfound understanding. Changes, though gradual, became evident as my parents began attending family dinners at our house every Saturday. Despite not being as extravagant as in the past, our homemade lasagna exudes warmth. "Look, Grandma, I drew this at school," Tommy proudly exclaimed, presenting his artwork to Mother. Her eyes welled up. "It's beautiful, Tommy. Can I hang it in my room?" she asked without her former air of superiority. Elizabeth has returned to assisting with medical appointments. Catherine has resumed legal consultations, while William now manages their modest finances. However, we who offer support have set clear expectations. "Love must be unconditional," Catherine asserted during our siblings' meeting, "but support needs conditions." A new support system was devised, ensuring mutual responsibilities and commitments documented in a notarized agreement. Of course, life hasn't been without its setbacks. Occasionally, Mother's past habits resurface. When influenced by her former social circle, she's lured to maintain appearances. Father gently nudges her. "Margaret, remember what really matters." Our parents now sit humbly at the back of the First Presbyterian Church, seeking authentic prayer rather than shallow faith. "We had lost sight of God's teachings," Elizabeth observed, as Father repented to the pastor. After departing from Greenwich Women's Club, Mother joined a community book club, realizing that there's more to people than titles and appearances. "I never anticipated such warmth," she admitted. Alterations appeared in their home. Lavish decorations made way for Tommy's drawings and family photos. The colossal 12-foot Christmas tree was replaced by a cozy 6-foot one, yet the shared time decorating it became invaluable. "Perhaps this represents true luxury," Mother pondered serenely. Financial concerns about retirement linger. Yet for the first time, our parents bravely face reality, choosing to live with integrity. "Now I see what we lost due to our pride." Father's voice mingled with regret and dawning hope. The most significant transformation lay in their bond with Tommy. "Grandpa, thanks for coming to my game." Tommy waved at Father during his Little League match. "Grandma, thank you for helping with my math," he exclaimed, hugging Mother after her assistance with his homework. A child's innocent heart began knitting new connections, forgiving adult misjudgments. A child's unconditional love was an immeasurable gift. Mother quietly shed tears, reflecting on the empty Christmas box incident. Our family is uncovering a genuine joy that no wealth or status could ever purchase. It's not flamboyant nor grand, but a warm, enduring happiness nesting within our hearts. "More trials certainly await," noted Elizabeth, "yet we value the true essence of family ties." Spring sunlight streams through the window. Fresh buds break on horse chestnut trees along Maple Avenue. In this dappling light, Tommy is seen aiding his grandparents with gardening. The once empty box is now brimming with invaluable memories and life lessons.